Hello, I'm Bob the Fool. This is Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke run number 5. I don't know why I said the number. I have everyone down to, or not down, up to level 20 now. We had a couple evolutions. Can't catch anything in Mount Moon, and I'm just gonna dive right in, because it's fairly long. If I get lucky, maybe we'll run into Misty. Oh, do. So, I have started to do my editing lately. I notice I say a whole lot. I'm gonna try not to this video to save myself about 3 hours of time. We'll see how well it goes. Oh, I forgot to rearrange everyone like way I like to. I'm just going to destroy everything. Alright, Zeus. Stats. You're 39. You're at 29. Okay. There we go. Oh, did I buy escape ropes? I did. I bought 5. Okay. So, I need to stop using filler words while I'm trying to still think of things I'm trying to say. Or I need to get better at improv and just say the things I want to say. I'm not sure which right now. Oh, that's better. Yeah. So, I'm going to try to dissect Pokemon a whole little bit while I'm playing this. I didn't want to switch out. So the weird thing about Pokemon to me is that I don't have a huge interest in it, actually. I loved the game as a kid, but like as I grew older, it just kind of wore down on me. I think that's the traditional RPG aspects of it. So, Pokemon is weird because it is across what is usually considered 2 different types of genre for RPGs, which this technically is. There's 2 types. There's Western RPGs and Eastern RPGs, or American RPGs and Japanese RPGs. I don't remember exactly how everyone tries to clarify them. But the idea is there's one where you're playing as a character who is not you. It's a storyline. You're going through a story that's being told of this character. The Final Fantasies, for the most part, are a really good example of this. Chrono Trigger is also a very good example of this. Zubat is a bloodsucker. Well, that's bad. So in that aspect, you are not your Pokemon. People tend to distance themselves from their Pokemon. Their Pokemon are the creatures they're throwing out to throw the battles, but people tend to view themselves as the trainer. Partially because you can name the trainer and it's a silent protagonist, so you can make jokes at people for getting lost next to a vampire sign while they're waiting for someone. Yeah, so Western RPGs or Japanese RPGs, whatever you want to call them, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10 are all great examples. Chrono Trigger is a great example of that. The Paper Mario series, which are an RPG, or Mario RPG, is all a great example of that, where you're not playing as yourself, you're playing as another character. Whether it be Cloud or Mario, you're not custom creating the character. You then have the Eastern or Americanized RPGs where you are the main character. You customize them. These are closer to like Skyrim, actually any of the Elder Scrolls series. I'm trying to think of other games. I know there's a whole lot. Fallout falls under this. That type of thing. You get my point. So Pokemon's a weird mix between the two because you view yourself as the trainer, but you view the Pokemon as a separate being. I also admit that I kind of view Pokemon as what I want to call boss fight simulator. Because basically you're going through a couple of different boss fights in order to get to a boss fight. So you don't get money from grinding, all you get is levels and power from grinding and fighting other random Pokemon. So there's... Other than the initial leveling, there's no point in doing it. So you're basically just trying to build yourself up for the next boss fight. And basically these little battles that I'm getting into, which do give you the money and the reward, are a boss fight. They're a mini little boss fight. You're fighting a little bit higher level Pokemon than the area. You're fighting more than one at a time, like in a row. And then you go through them in order to build yourself up in order to fight the next boss, who happens to be a gym leader, or your rival, or Team Rocket. Zeus leveled. I wasn't expecting that to happen in this run. Well, this episode. So you're always trying to propel yourself to the next boss fight, technically. It's probably what... my viewpoint of that is probably why I don't care too much for the Pokemon games anymore, even though I was really into them as a kid. But I mean, Pokemon hits on a bunch of different aspects. It hits collectors, it hits people who just like cute things, it hits tactical people because there is a rock paper scissors battle system in it. And a lot of it makes sense, some of it's kind of like a what? Just being a normal type move is definitely on that table for me. I don't know if I'm going to use rare candies. Haven't decided. Yeah, Pokemon's a really weird game, and I don't know enough about game design to actually try to pull it apart and analyze it. But I'm trying to. Because I like game systems. There's a couple of areas in this game that most people would... In most RPGs, they would be called dungeons, so Mount Moon's one of them. You have the SS Anne, you have the mansion, you have the Team Rocket base, and Rock Tunnel, and then the tower in Lavender City. I wish I could have gotten a Zubat. Or a Geodude. Geodude was on my main lineup. A Paris? I didn't even know you could catch these in Mount Moon. You are creepy looking. Die. Faster. So that's kind of my diagnosis of what Pokemon is in 10 minutes. Probably a little bit less because my brain's all fuzzled right now. I haven't gotten to drink my morning tea yet. Now I will. Tea. Yoke. I was expecting to rant more about Pokemon. I don't have a lot to say about Pokemon, I guess. I don't know. Someone down below let me know why they like Pokemon games, because I kind of understand it, I kind of don't understand it. I started playing this because of Pokemon Go got me re-inspired to play the Pokemon games, and I was watching a Nuzlocke at the time. I just haven't... I don't know, I've been off and on about it lately. There are other random games I seem to prefer. Did I go this way yet? No. I'm trying to clear this floor so that we don't have to find anything later. You have a limited resource of money in this game. Because after you get so much money by fighting everyone, you can no longer get any more money. You're just out of money. No more options for you. Moonstone. That'd matter if I could catch a Keflari. Keflari? Keflari! A living Gengar. This is going a whole lot more smoothly than I was expecting. Except for this Geodude fight. Just use Confusion, Bob. We'll kill the rock. You will kill the rock by confusing it into making it think it's a puddle. John Dodds. I don't know. Probably gonna go back to what I was originally thinking about talking about. Because this is kind of a dungeon, I kind of wanted to talk about dungeon design for pen and paper RPGs. If you don't know what a pen and paper RPG is, just replace the words pen and paper RPG with Dungeons and Dragons. I don't always play Dungeons and Dragons, but I do know it. Ooh, Supersonic. Do I want to learn Supersonic? Yes. I will get rid of, I think, Sleep Powder. I think I'm going to need it. Or Tackle. I'll get rid of Tackle. Yes, a fool would change Pokemon. Oh, beta's up, so... Now that's something a smart person would do, not me. Bubbles! My brain stopped. I happens too often. Oh, I forgot to switch out. I'll deal with that in a second. Right, so Dungeons and Dragons. For those of you who don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, because a lot of people that I talk to tend to think it's a board game, because I talk to a fair amount of people that actually have no idea what Dungeons and Dragons is, which I'm now going to refer to as D&D, or pen and paper role-playing games. They use the words Dungeons and Dragons because it is the most common known term for this style of game. But that's not really what it is. So one of the first things that you have to understand is that games like Dungeons and Dragons are what I'm going to call storytelling games. That's not always the focus of the rule set for the games, or it's sometimes the entire focus of the rule set of the games, depending on what game you're playing. But the idea is that you have one person who basically acts as the narrator of the world. They control all of the side characters, they control like how the world reacts, they introduce it to characters, they are the ones doing the narrative work and the describing, and all of the rest of the players are the main characters of the story. Which means that you can really do whatever you want. So there, especially with the very large range of rule systems that exist out there. So you can do something like have a space opera, or run a traditional medieval combat world, or just have an entire story where it's nothing but political debate between, lords trying to win favor from the king, that type of thing. Yeah, so the entire aspect of it is that you're telling a story, and the interesting part is that you don't control your main characters. So it's like being a writer where your characters kind of write themselves. Mostly because someone else is writing those characters, and they will have a very different perspective on how the world is viewed and looks, depending on how good or bad you are at playing the narrator role. So I wanted to talk a little bit about dungeon design, because old school RPGs are the worst at it. Did I go the right way? Thank you for telling me that out loud and in person. You have a goofy face. And 3 fingers. 2 fingers and a thumb? 2 fingers? No, you have just 3 fingers. And maybe a thumb. What's going on with your right hand, dude? It's weird. I was about to talk about dungeon design. So if you think about a dungeon, it's divided up in what I'm going to call encounters. These encounters can be divided up between rooms, they could be divided up, between dialogues, that type of thing. But generally, in an encounter, there's going to be a couple different aspects. First off, when you're encountering something, you're encountering a room first and foremost. So there's no such thing as a bare blank room. Even if you're in a cave system or something, you have to be able to stop and go, okay, I'm in a cave. Or the players are in caves. I need to describe these caves in a manner that the players will get the same idea that I have. So you want to call upon, like, old school writing techniques to describe a place. So, you know, you're inside a cave. It's possibly moist. It's damp. So the first thing that you notice is a slight smell of mildew, maybe, and a slight damp wetness in the air, as maybe a fresh rain has came down, flooded through the cave a little bit, maybe dug out a little bit more on one end. Who knows? But those are little details that you can give for the cave. Then you have to, you know, there's probably a reason why people are in the cave. Maybe the cave is inhabited by the local bandits or something like that. Maybe Team Rocket has taken up refuge in the cave. So they have, you know, they use the cave, so when you're going through the cave, it seems like a normal cave until you come to a dead-end wall. It seems a bit odd to you that there's a wall there. So you investigate further and find out that there's a hidden passage behind it, maybe. You know, how does the hidden passage work? You know, how does it open up? These little details could be crucial for how your players perceive your world. So that, like, you want to give them, like, the sound, like, you want to give them all 5 senses. So you want to get, like, sight, what they see, what they hear, what they smell, what they taste if they decide to lick the cave walls. Maybe there's a faint acidic taste in the air or something, because there's some sulfur in the area. There's some sulfur in the walls or something like that. I don't actually know if sulfur leaves an acidic taste in your mouth, but maybe it's something like that. I'm sure there's some type of rock that does. I doubt I'm over-exaggerating. Oh, and touch. Touch was the other 5th sense, I think. Right? Smell, see, hear, taste, touch. Yeah. Your 5 basic senses. Because you're basically trying to paint a picture in their mind, and I highly recommend looking into like writing guides when trying to write a room. So yeah, you walk into a room, you know, you could divide up dungeons into rooms if you want. For example, once I get out of here, I'm technically in a room of this dungeon. You can argue that the floor above me could be divided up into different sections. Pokemans everywhere. And me without a repel, which I don't use, because I'm crazy. Because why wouldn't you want to grind to get more levels? People are weird. So the first thing you want to do when you walk into a room is have a basic description of it. The second thing you have to understand is that no room realistically in real life has no purpose. Everything has a small oddity or a living touch, unless it's a blank room that no one lives in. For example, the room I'm sitting in has, you know, it has wooden paneled walls. There's a dartboard. Across from me is a large screen TV that is plugged into a computer that all my recording stuff's connected to. I can see a GameCube from here. I can see an old school Sonic the Hedgehog binder from the early 90s. I can see a screwdriver. I can see my Game Boy games. I can see my collection of Xbox games and 360 games. There's all my NES games. There's another GameCube with a Wavebird plugged into it. You know, this is my recording space, and I have a bunch of game systems here that I'm probably never going to record with. You know, but the space it's lived in. It's cluttered a bit, but it's lived in. I'm not sending any pictures of this. You're gonna have to just believe me when I describe the room. Alright, now we can... Oh, finally have, I'm assuming, a flying type move on Cookie. You know, no room should be without a purpose. Both aesthetically and physically. And I'll get to that in a second. So then you have the other different types of aspects of a room in your traditional dungeon crawl, like, is there combat in it? Do you have any puzzles in it? Are there traps? That type of thing. Is there an NPC that just for people to talk to? What's the story of this room? I guess is my original statement. Unfortunately, you can get too realistic with some of these things, and you can put in a bathroom, which just seems to baffle some players for some odd reason. You open the door to find a bathroom. I'm not going to describe it any further, because it's just a bathroom. Those would exist inside this house, because people live in this house. Even then, a bathroom can actually say a lot about a person that lives there. So, like, is there anything on the counter? What's on the counter? You know, how clean is it? That type of thing tells a lot about a person. Oh wow, this Raticate jumped up in level super quickly. He's still dead. You got another one of those? Nope. That's why. So you need all the aspects of the dungeon that the players are actually going to try to interact with next. So this could be combat, that type of thing. I highly recommend when designing a dungeon for a pen and paper RPG or for your friends, that you don't just throw combat. It gets monotonous, it slows down the game, it's not great. Somewhere in the middle, I highly recommend throwing in either a puzzle, which can be as simple as you creating a word search, or as complex as you designing a set of riddles or a logic puzzle for the dungeon. I also highly recommend that whatever the puzzle or riddle is, it should tie into the dungeon. Lately, I've been playing around with the idea of splitting dungeons up, actually, in my head, where you'll go through like 2 or 3 battles, and then maybe you'll talk to an NPC, maybe you'll have to leave to a different location because this area is done and you have to go to this location. The slight problem with that is downtime. Some things that do that can give the players way too much of it. For example, why are you telling me this, dude? You could have just been like, I'ma fight you, get out. Here's our evil plans. We are going to steal the fossils and make them into Pokemon somehow, because you can do that shit. Yeah. This game sometimes fails a little bit at storytelling aspects. That's what I'm learning very quickly. You're mad, eh? What are you gonna do about it, huh? Attack me with your whip? I'm just a small child. That's horrible. Why would you do those things? Mount Moon, you're in my way. You're in my way of finishing this Pokemon journey. Which I'd like to finish, because I actually want to play other games. So the thing I find funny about this is, what if you actually had no intentions of taking either fossils? What if you were just like, I'm just trying to get through the mountain to go fight Misty? Why do we need to fight? You're being weird, dude. Not Tail Whip. Whatever shall I care? Whenever shall I care? I don't know. Oh god. Don't use self-destruct. Die before you can use self-destruct, thank you. I have new fears in the world. Self-destruct. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Helix fossil. All praise. Mount Moon has been a lot smaller and easier than I remember. That's not a bad thing. Maybe I overleveled again. I probably overleveled again. And before anyone asks, yes, I'm aware that I'm gonna fight my rival at the end of Mount Moon. That was not a thing I forgot this time. Yes, not very effective at all. Huh, I haven't even hit an hour of recording time. That's amazing! I don't understand why this is here. I'm on a new route. I might be able to catch another Pokemon. I might also be able to buy Great Balls from Cinnabar. I thought you fought your rival at the end of Mount Moon. Huh. I guess I will heal up. See if I can catch me a 6th Pokemon. I should hit the mark. The arc. No! Stop doing that! Stop pressing buttons me and looking away from the screen. There's the Gaim, there's the arc. Okay, you just have standard Pokeballs. Should be good. Oh, I'm gonna need cut soon. I don't remember where you need cut, where you get cut. Okay, so. Trying to catch me a 5th Pokemon, 6th Pokemon. I already have a Sparrow, so this does not count. Alright, I get nothing from that route. Sweet cup and cakes. I guess I'm just gonna fight Misty and call this an episode. Fight me. Here, levels your guys. Because if they're low enough, I'm going to go, or if they're high enough, I'm going to go grind. The 16. I should be okay to fight Misty. I don't think I have anything that's weak to water. I mean, I got a 5-level gap. Don't know. Yeah, I should be okay to fight Misty. I forgot to switch out my Pokemon. Oh well. Ooh. You're way closer to my level than I would like you to be. No, you're not. You're a corpse. Corpses are beneath me. Probably literally due to American colonization and the amount of Indian burial grounds that just seem to exist here. Hooray! Happy thoughts! Someone died somewhere. Probably under you. No, I'm in a basement. So maybe not someone, maybe something. I don't know. Basements aren't super deep, so I don't know how far down you have to go to excavate. I'm not a paleontologist. Go talk to a paleontologist. You're a new face. Trainers who want to turn pro have to have a policy about Pokemon. Yes, mine are if they die, they're dead. What is your approach when you catch Pokemon? I like to set them on fire and see if they, live. I'll have offense with water types. See, even as a kid, the all water types thing bothered me. The all, I only use this type of Pokemon bothers me. Because it is clearly so much more powerful to diversify. Supersonics. Oh. Nah. I think Supersonic's on attack. Ooh, that is lower than I would like. Go Beta. Save Bugumon. Alright, so I better not use any of the water type moves against Starmie. I see. A battle of attrition has begun. I keep losing my train of thought. This has been a very interesting episode. Maybe I should have eaten breakfast before doing this. Maybe I shouldn't have. Either way, it's going to be shorter for me to edit, so that's awesome. Editing takes forever. I enjoy doing it, but... Don't get your Pokemons killed. Yeah, I enjoy doing the editing. But because I do the text thing and stuff, it takes a lot longer than... I would want to do. Why are you still in normal mode? Flying is a type. Sand attack. Don't die, 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 don't die. Woo! There's sand in your crystalline eye. Ooh, I might lose someone. I don't want to. The sand attack's probably gonna end up saving me a whole bunch. Keep attacking. No, you want to go like 2 more times. I didn't. Everyone gains XP. Cascade? Okay. Now I can use cut at any time. Alright, we're gonna go level. Maybe I'll hunt around to try to find cut. Because it has to be in like this town, right? Oh, do I have to go talk to Bill for cut? I don't remember. Does Bill have his own separate route? Two routes. Alright, when do you switch over then? Because I could potentially catch a Pokemon in each. I think I have to go south from here. Oh, the rock tunnel. You're gonna give me some shite. Okay. Huh. Maybe this is going by smoother than I thought it was. Maybe I won't have enough time to talk about some of the things I want to talk about. Let's poke around. Who uses the word heinous? Bill and Ted? No. Screw you, Shoo. Why do we have to fight every single time we see each other? Please be weak, please be weak. Please, oh, thank God. Oh, I'm an idiot. 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 I leveled. Still an idiot. All right. Use your water pistols. Oh my God. Abras only have a teleport when they start off. That's what's to the north. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get cut from Bill. I'm gonna grab that next episode. I'm going to hopefully not lose anyone in this fight. And I'm gonna punch you in the face for not giving me $1. The least you could do is level your starter, man. I completely skipped his dialogue. I probably shouldn't have. Let's try tackle. No, that was far more effective. Not even worth trying to lose a Pokemon. Bulbasaur is unaffected. Hey, take it easy. You won already. No. Screw you, Shu. Hey, guess what? I went to Bill's and got him to show me his rare Pokemon. That added a lot of pages to my Pokedex. After all, Bill's world famous as a Pokemaniac. He invented the Pokemon storage system on PC. Since you were using his system, go thank him. Well, I better get rolling. Smell you later. The music playing. Oh, that reminds me. I've been yelled at to actually go and get a potion out of the PC that Bill has there. Alright, I'm gonna heal up. I'm gonna call it a recording session. I'm gonna go do some editing, I think. I might end up watching YouTube. Or playing Kingdoms New Lands, because I've been addicted to that game lately. Oh no, he just has the Pokemon system. So... draw a potion. And oak. I don't want to get my Pokedex rated. Alright, so now that I've actually fiddled with the thing, that is it for me. Thanks guys for watching. As always, you know what to do. Laters.